think it's just white chocolate inside.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, nothing, no
Nothing
like
fancy.
fruity, anything.
okay.
I think the mayor had the same idea I just had.
Oh, taking some.
Take some candy down to that little girl.
Hi, Tammy. Well, you know how they said they're gonna wait for more mag money for the 8 South and 8 roundabout? I want that in.
I'm bummed that it ended up costing way more
Way
than
more.
planned.
Why don't we move that capital improvement budget? Just kidding. From the 100,000, move it over
Someone
there.
with authority should do that, right?
Well, we'd like to bring our meeting to order, if that's okay. We appreciate your attendance here this evening. We excuse Troy is excused, and also Craig Jensen is also excused. Our invocation is Councilman Smith, and then we're going to have a special presentation, a flag ceremony for us, put on by, and what troop number is it? 7 what? 712 girls. We're so grateful that they would take the time to be here, and we appreciate them doing a flag presentation. After which the pledge will be done by Councilmember Snelson. We'll go to that point in the program.
Our dear Father in heaven, we are grateful to be gathered here today. We're grateful to be here in this country with the freedoms that we have. We are grateful for the inspired document, the law of our land, the Constitution. Father, we pray for peace and wisdom in our political leaders and for all the leaders of the world. Father, we are very grateful for our servicemen and women, and we are grateful for our first responders. We ask a blessing upon Springville and its citizens. We love thee, Father, and we say these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Okay.
Wait.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Wonderful. Thank you very much. We really are honored to have you here and appreciate you taking the time to do that and to allow us to be able to honor the flags. We have 3 flags up here. We have, of course, our national flag, we have our state flag, and then our city flag. So we appreciate you doing that, and you are so welcome to stay. We're grateful that you'd be here. Those of you that would like to make a public comment, if you would, this gentleman right here, I think the papers are out in the foyer, but if you get the paper over, we have 3, and we'll have an opportunity for you to make a public comment. And it'll be just in just a little bit. So, okay, we'll take a moment here and do the Art City Day Rodeo royalties. So, who would like to help with that? All right, here we go. Wow, holy cow. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You as well.
Hi.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hannah Terry.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
She is our 2025 princess. She goes to school at Hillfield Elementary. She is from Honeyville, Utah.
Oh,
She is in kindergarten.
Mm.
So, and she rides a horse named Mocha and Rose, right?
wow. You've come a long way if you're from Honeyville. That's wonderful. We're so grateful that you're here. Thank you so much for being here. Good job. Would she like to come up here and sit with us and kind of take a look from the audience up there? Come up here with her. Why don't you come up here with her? There we go. You get to look at them eyeball to eyeball on this point. You can sit right there in those chairs. There you go. Now you can sit up here as long as you'd like to. And the longer you sit, the more candy you get. Look at the drawer. Look at that. Wow. That's well worth it, isn't it? Yeah. She's not looking at anybody now.
She's not even rude. I'm Charlotte Tibbles. I am this year's first attendant for the rodeo. I've lived in Springville my whole life. I attend Maple Mountain High School, and I have been recently elected as the 2025 president for Maple Mountain's FFA chapter, which I'm very excited about. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, 4 girls and 1 boy, and I live with my parents, Steve and Melinda Tibbles, in Springville, and I've lived here my whole life, and I'm super excited to represent with you guys.
Thank you.
Very good.
Good evening. My name is Hazley Bear, and I'm this year's 2025 rodeo queen. I'm 16 years old, and I go to Yates Place in Payson. I've been riding for 6 years, and I recently got a new horse named Outlaw. He's my ride or die. He's helped me gain my confidence, and we recently got 2nd place in pole bending for 4D. Me, Charlotte, and Hannah, Art City Days Rodeo Council, and Hobble Creek Riding Club would like to invite you to this year's 2025 rodeo on June 7th.
I won't miss it.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Mindy's going to be out of town. But Craig, I'm sure we're all going to be there. We love to do that. This young lady right here knows how much we love the rodeo, so
Perfect. We love to put it on for you guys. So.
Yep.
that's great. That's great. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that, the invitation, and we'll be there. What time would you like us there? 6 o'clock. Okay, sounds good.
We're actually really excited this year. Our clown is Mr. J.J. Harrison.
Oh, yes.
He is one of the biggest rodeo clowns in the United States right now.
Nice.
Very good. He's even a bigger clown than Mike Snelson. Wonderful. Well, we'll be happy to see you there at 6 o'clock. Now, I just want you to know that Councilmember Smith is in charge of the weather.
Working on it.
Do you remember a couple of years ago? So anyway, we'll work on the weather. So thank you very much, and we'll see you there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, do you want some more candy? You can grab some. Grab some. There's a whole bunch there. Yeah. There's about 50 of them in there, and there's these little chocolates. So.
You might put that one back.
Very good. Well, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, I need approval for this meeting's agenda. A motion for this meeting's agenda.
I motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Very good. We're now entering the portion where public can make a comment. We have three. Lee, start with you if that's okay.
My name is Lee Taylor. I think everybody up here knows me, and I've lived here all my life. I'm kind of concerned, and I shouldn't say concerned. I trust you. The Second South, the corridor for Festival Street, the plan that's in effect or we're contemplating. I just want to make sure that everyone is aware there's historic significance to some of the buildings along that street. You know, the old Johnson Tire store. Next to it was the Culligan soft water store. And next to that, there's a little frame building. And I'm wondering how many people know the history of that little frame building. It used to be across the street next to Friel's. It was a real estate office when it was first opened. And I'm just kind of concerned what's going to happen to it. It does have some history. I think it was Fraser Realty that first owned. Maybe it was Kolob, but in any case.
Oh, yeah.
I was, and I have a picture of it when it was sitting next to Friel's. On that corner used to be cafes, McPherson's Cafe, and then, oh gosh, there's been a couple different cafes there. Toot and Tell'em was just to the east. There's a lot of history associated with that, and working with the Landmarks Commission and the Historical Society, we're hoping to put together some sort of remembrance for what was there, what is no longer there, what is missing. So we'd really like to make sure to, I'm very involved in the senior center, and the seniors are concerned about parking, crossing the street. What are we going to do? And I'm sure all that is in the planning stage, but just take that into consideration. I think the senior center is typically only open 4 hours a day, and that's in the middle of the day, but there are other activities that go on, and of course with revitalizing that street, there'll be more interest. Kudos to Central Bank and Trust for rebuilding their bank building, and it's going to draw a lot of interest downtown. And so this is all a part of that, and all that history needs to be preserved. Okay, so I'm looking forward to it. I hope I live long enough to see it to completion.
Me too. No, and to your point, in fact, just before this meeting, I talked to Emily about, I would encourage you to work with her, because I said, it'd be really nice if we had some sort of an audio tour where somebody could just be walking and by GPS knowing that you're standing in front of whatever the old SOS drug, and it would say this building was built in 1892 and this used to be the Heyman drugstore, and those kinds of things, to help somebody if they wanted to walk through the town and gain a historical perspective. And I think that's what you're talking about.
I would agree, and being a part of the Landmarks Commission, that some of that responsibility is going to fall upon us to help put that together.
Right.
Some of the history of downtown that has been lost, but the Rivoli Theater, for example, we have a picture of the original theater with the sign when it was just one building wide, and later they took out another building and made it 2 buildings wide. It's quite a history there. Most people aren't even aware of. So in any case, we'll help spread the word. Thank you.
Okay, and work with Emily. I think she's on task with it. So, okay, Clint Laidlaw, also here for the Art Loop.
Hello. Sounds like you already know who I am, but I'm Clint Laidlaw, and with my wife Leisha, we own Clint's Reptile Room here on Main Street. And we've had the privilege of getting to be part of several of the meetings having to do with the Art Loop and getting to do the walk and everything. And we just wanted to express how excited we are about this project. You know, we've done a lot with our YouTube channel and everything to promote Springville as the art city. You know, we've learned a lot about the museum over the last few years. My wife was in the art royalty at one point in time, and so, you know, all of this heritage of the art city is so special and so important, and it's going to be just really, really special to have something so conspicuous in the community to really showcase that and to draw people's attention to it, because I think increasingly Springville is becoming a destination place for people to go and not just to pass through. And so, anyway, just wanted to put that out there, how excited we are about this project.
Very good. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Clint.
Thank you.
Very good. We agree with that. Wendy? Wendy Osborne from Tabitha Way.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Wendy Osborne with Tabitha's
I didn't
Way.
recognize you under the pink golf hat.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No worries, you're fine. It's incognito. No, just kidding. So, Tabitha's Way Local Food Pantry is proud to announce our 15-year anniversary of serving families facing food insecurity in our local communities. Since our founding, Tabitha's Way has grown from a small grassroots effort to a vital community-supported organization that provides essential food assistance to thousands of individuals each year. To honor this important milestone, we are launching a month-long celebration throughout June, culminating in a 15-year celebration block party on Wednesday, June 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. This community-focused event will be a family-friendly gathering open to all residents, featuring food, fun activities, entertainment, and engagement opportunities. A central part of the celebration is our No Hunger Pledge campaign, where we aim to collect 1,500 pledges from local residents. Each pledge represents a commitment to help end hunger through awareness, advocacy, and action. The goal of this initiative is to mobilize and engage our community in the fight against hunger. In addition to gathering signatures, we are setting ambitious but vital goals to address local hunger. We hope to raise funds for 150,000 additional meals to support our ongoing efforts to meet the growing number of food insecure families in our communities. Also, we hope to collect 1,500 pounds of food through community food drives. We are extending a warm invitation to city leaders, its employees, and the entire community to attend the block party and join us in these efforts to uplift our neighbors in needs. We respectfully request Springville City Council to support and help promote this meaningful milestone in the following ways. We reached out to the city library, and they explained they couldn't do a food drive at the library, but we were hoping that the city would consider consenting putting food drive bins here in the city offices to help us to collect those foods so we can get to that 15,000 pounds of food. And we're also asking the city if they would consider helping us promote the event by allowing us to display posters in city offices and public spaces, and also to place banners in perhaps areas throughout the city, just again calling attention to the event and inviting the community to take part in the celebration. So I want to state thank you so much for standing with us. 15 years for us is a tremendous milestone, but we realize that we haven't achieved that milestone without the support of many citizens and our local leaders and communities. And so we want to celebrate this with you. We want to say thank you so much for your support. We're just truly honored and grateful to have achieved this milestone, and we're looking forward to the next 15 years and ask you to lock arms with us and help us boldly go forward and engage our community in fighting food insecurity.
Very good. Very good. Where's the block party going to be?
It will be in Spanish Fork. And
At your new facility?
yeah, at our new facility.
The old Safeway?
Yes.
Yep, yep.
So-
Okay.
And we can send information to to the city.
Yeah, why don't you send it to Patrick? Do you have his contact information?
I actually do. So-
And I'll let you just kind of work with him in relationship to your requests. I don't know if we can or how we do it or that sort of thing. So just work with him, and
Okay.
I'm sure for everyone that we just totally support what you're doing,
Thank you.
and are very grateful for what you do.
Like I said, 15 years and the families we've been able to serve has been a direct reflection of our local community's leadership and our communities and the people who live in our community who care. And it's just been nothing but an honor to do this work. So thank you.
Yeah, and you might want to just be very interesting just for us, our information, get to Patrick about the story of how Tabitha Way got started. Because it's not like United Way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very different, very local.
Very local.
So if you wouldn't mind doing that, I think it'd be very informational for everybody to learn that. So,
Happy to do that.
okay, sounds
Thank
good.
you so much.
Thank you. Okay, you've had a chance to look through the consent agenda. Any questions on the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
I'll second.
Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Okay, John, you're here on a boundary line agreement or adjustment with Provo City.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, council members. This is an item that has actually come before the council a few times. The history of the item is, let me just, is that on the north end of Springville, Provo has put a road going into Provo. And let me just kind of, let me see if I have. So if you look at this right here, over this way is Ironton Hill. If you keep on going up State Street, then this 1400 North is the first exit into Springville. Provo has been developing their industrial park, which is north of the blue line here that you can see, kind of the faded blue. And they put this road in, I don't know, about 2 years ago. And at that time, maybe it's only been 1 year, but anyway, when they were putting the road in, they asked us to adjust the boundary. And the reason why is because the road is here and everything to the east, at the eastern edge of the road, is it's basically a sliver of property that's not hard to, it's definitely hard to use and a few things like that. So they asked us to move the boundary and accept roughly 0.63 acres into Springville. And so this kind of helps to show you what they're looking at right here. This did come before the council a year plus ago. We did our part on the boundary line adjustment, but Provo did not do theirs. This then came back from Provo saying, hey, let's try this again. And so it's here in front of the council. On February 18th, the council did pass a resolution saying, hey, we're interested in doing this. We had to wait 60 days according to state law. During that time, we did some notices, give people opportunity to protest. Nobody has protested. And so now it's back here for this public hearing for the council to determine whether or not they want to go forward with this boundary line adjustment. Again, we're talking about this roughly 0.63 acres that's in orange here. And so the boundary would just move to the west. The property is owned by Springville Rising LLC, and so all their property in that area would then be in Springville. After this happens, if the council does elect to approve the ordinance, once Provo approves their side of the ordinance, then the ordinance goes into effect. At that point, we have to do some notices of the Lieutenant Governor's office and then also file a plat. And so that's what's in the resolution, that we will do those items. So any questions for me?
I'm for it. But is there like a sidewalk there that's theirs that they take care of and maintain on I can't tell if that's a sidewalk.
Is it adjacent to the road is what you're talking
Yeah.
Yeah.
about? Looks like it.
So it would be outside the roadway, the right-of-way. So everything outside, the sidewalk's typically in the right-of-way. I don't know if there is a sidewalk right there or not. It kind of looks like there is as you look at it coming down like this. I wonder if I could pull up a map pretty fast. What would have the most recent map? Does anybody know? Okay.
Well, do we have to take care, so would that be in our maintenance and we have to take care of it, or it's?
No, that's
It's
one of the
info
nice
right
things
away.
about this is we would have, oh, it doesn't have the sidewalk, so the sidewalk does end right here.
Okay.
But
But the presumed sidewalk would be
It
still
will
in
still
there.
be there and it's
right
that's
right
my
away.
understanding because we're taking everything outside the right of way. And so this is a situation where Provo technically is going to take care of a right of way for some of the property that a Springville business is going to own. But there would still need to have the right of way come, or the sidewalk installed, it looks like, so.
So would the whoever develops that land, Springville Rising or whoever it might be, are they responsible to put that sidewalk in, or is Provo City?
They would be responsible underneath our ordinances to put that in, even though it is within the Provo.
On Provo's
they would-
right of way.
If this is their frontage, then they would have to put the sidewalk in to meet our requirements for sidewalk.
Do
Okay.
they have to get Provost's permission too to finish this?
They will. And right now, I know that Springville Rising and Springville and Provo are all working together on property in this area. And so I think it'll be something we'll all continue to work on. But great questions. I wish I had more precise answers. But some of that's still going to be up in the air moving forward.
Okay, other questions for John?
Sorry, we won't have to maintain it though, right?
If it's in their right of way, they maintain it, and my understanding it will all be in their right of way. But also too, looking at it, if they asked us to help, we probably would help because it would be fronting one of our properties. I just don't see us helping with the asphalt and everything that way, and that's one of the reasons I think they're doing it this way, or they want to do it this way. So it's clear that they take care of the road, and we might have to help take care of the sidewalk or something that way. But lots of times, cities do not like to have the boundary go down the middle of the road because then it becomes a lot more difficult to determine who's going to do what.
Well, don't the businesses, aren't they responsible to take care of the sidewalk? I know I do. I have to take care of my sidewalk over there.
You take care of it, but when it comes to replacing it,
Oh,
that sort
okay.
of thing.
Yeah.
I think more, is that what you're asking?
Maintenance, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, there'll be shoveling and weeds and stuff like that that they would have to take care of, but the actual replacing would be.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense.
The water pipeline that goes through that little parcel right there, are there any possible complications with that being in Springville versus in Provo?
There's a drainage ditch.
Is it a drainage ditch?
Yeah, I think I've been told that it takes water to the McWayne ductile plant before, but I don't know if that's accurate.
I'm not sure where it originates, but there is a pipe in there.
Is this the one, Jeff?
You can see the outline of it. It runs kind of straight through, but maybe they've rerouted a portion of it with the rebuilding of the road.
You're talking this right here then, is that right? Okay,
So it follows along the right of way.
yeah,
I guess that answers that then.
okay.
Okay, Mr. Penrod, so we have to do a public hearing?
That is correct.
Okay, so we need to open it up for public comment.
That is correct, yes. Mayor.
Okay, we need to open this up for public comment. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to this portion of annexation, a boundary line agreement with Provo City?
Seeing nobody approach, I move that we close the public hearing.
Okay, I have a motion.
I will second that.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, I'm open for a approval.
I'll motion to approve ordinance number 8, 2025, approving an adjustment to the common boundary between Springville City and Provo City along 1400 North
I
in
will-
Springville.
Oh, I will second that.
Okay, it's a roll call vote. Councilmember Wright? It's up to you. You can abstain if you want to.
Okay,
It's up to you.
I'll abstain
Okay,
due to conflict of interest.
okay, very good. Mr. Snelson?
Yes.
Mr. Millsap?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, Chris, this is an easement purchase with Rocky Mountain Power. for 1200 West.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. So this one is pretty simple. With our 1200 West project, we have a portion of 250 North that we need to get an intersection across, and this property here is owned by Utah Power and Light, and so we are requesting consideration to purchase an easement from them for our roadway to go through.
Okay,
It's that simple.
it's about as
That's
simple
pretty-
as it
that's
is.
pretty easy.
Well, in the pre-reads, we had all the information in relationship to what it was and what the easement allowed us to do, and also the dollar amount. So
Correct. And I can expand on any of that if you'd like me to.
why don't you, just for public record, why don't you explain kind of what the purpose for the easement
Correct.
and what will go in the easement, and then also the dollar amount that we are going to be paying to Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, so we carved out a description and applied for this easement with them to allow for the roadway to be constructed, for our utilities to cross through, basically creating a public right-of-way and utility easement access through. They're not willing to sell property, but they're willing to grant easements for these similar uses. So we went back and forth in negotiation with them, and we've been able to whittle down the number, and so the terms of this easement would be consideration for I think $76,000. Roughly works out to be around $8 to $9 a square foot.
It's about what it costs to buy it.
So we started at we started at $20 a square foot. So we feel like we
You-
made
you
some
did good.
progress, and for time considerations of trying to get this road open,
Yep,
we would
yep.
We felt appropriate to move forward with this number.
Very good.
So we'll always have this easement. It's not something that we have to come and try to negotiate again later.
Correct. It's a one-time purchase, and then we'll have that indefinitely.
And John, so we're here to approve the easement contract, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Any questions for Chris? Okay, I'll entertain a motion then for approval of the easement purchase with Rocky Mountain Power.
I motion that we approve the purchase and signing of the public roadway easement from Rocky Mountain Power for 250 North at 1200 West.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. It's a roll call vote. Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Wright,
Yes.
Mr. Snelson,
Yes.
Mr. Millsap.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Chris. Emily.
I had the same error message on my PowerPoint, which is probably good because then maybe we'll just go to the plan itself. But we spoke a lot about the art loops downtown in our work session. You've all been very involved in it. So kind of just for the public record and for anyone in the audience who might not know about the art loops, I'll explain a little bit of it. But it's a plan we've been working on for the last year and a half that really fulfills some of our goals, both with public art and embracing our art city identity, and some of the goals that were outlined in the Reframing Downtown plan. How do we get people to Springville, not just through, and make downtown a really thriving, vital place to be in and improve some of our things. So some of the goals of the art loops are to connect our civic assets, the museum, the library, and the civic center, enhance walkability and pedestrian experience, bolster downtown Springville's sense of place, amplify the art city identity, and then really further the main goals and objectives of the Reframing Downtown plan. And the way that we envision doing that is through this really interactive public art experience that puts small and large public art pieces that you discover every block throughout this downtown radius, from the museum down through the Riverwalk to the library splash pad through Main Street, and then on the streets in between. And we'll use our background in museum interpretation and engagement to create interpretive tours and tools so that it really becomes this interactive experience through downtown and really amplifies our art city identity. For those who want more information, this full plan is on the museum's website. You can look through all of the different things we propose. There's a list of projects proposed and inspiration images of things we could pursue. The first phase is fully funded through the money that you've already allocated in the budget process, and then as we move into further phases, we'll be continuing to look for external funding. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about the art loops, and then my recommendation is that you approve the resolution so we have that formal action of your vote of approval of this plan.
Okay, questions for Emily? Just for the public record, that we've gone through this, the council's been through this 3 times or 2 times?
Yeah, and several of the so in work session, probably 3 times, and then many of the members are on different committees that have gone through it in more detail.
Yeah, thank you. And we've had lots of public comment in relationship to this, and frankly, we're quite excited and want to put a lot of effort behind it because I think it'll be very monumental. I really do, so. Okay, if no questions, I'll entertain a motion then.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-18, approving the Art Loops plan.
Second.
Okay, that's a roll call vote. Mindy?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Super, super. And to Lee's point, since the bank's gonna go do a little bit of work there has been just a tremendous, we spent hours talking historically about what was there, what used to be there, how it was situated, who was there, the cellars that were there, what was in the cellars. I mean, it's just been fascinating, the stories that there is a generation that they don't know. And some of us that have heard those stories, people are saying, please write those down because people just don't know. And when you pass away, you just take all that with you. So, and I'm just talking about just kind of a block, but there's a whole history up and down that street that I think is quite fascinating. Again, I mentioned this in the previous meeting. I was in Helper, and we work with, on the business side with the guy who's doing lots of the renovation there in Helper. And he's gone through historically, and it's just amazing the information that he's been able to garner of the buildings that he's redone. And he can tell stories about what used to be in the building. You know, this used to be a bar and whatever. And it's just fascinating the history that's in those buildings. If only those walls could speak, you know. And that's so I appreciate your efforts in doing that. Okay, anything else that we need to go through at all? Okay, entertain a motion for adjournment then.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for coming and doing the flags. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, buddy. Good, Mr. Penrod. You know I'm not going to sign anything, don't you? If you'll call me Matt.
Well,
I know. What are you gonna do now? We have a whole evening to ourselves.
yard work.
Yard work.